Well, hello internets, here we are with a bit of a video. Well, we have ourselves a little bit of reflections type of thing that is going on in my head, kind of log. I don't really have regrets on some of my past. My past experiences have taught me things. They have allowed me to grow, to experience things that most people would probably have never experienced. They have kind of shaped me essentially to who I am today. They've taught me the value of time. They've taught me the value of money. They've taught me in life what is important and what is not. You know, what can wait for another day and what should be dealt with now, or at least addressed now. Living with limitations in your life, whether it's health limitations, financial limitations, physical limitations, we all have some kind of boundaries. You know, even those people that are in the so-called perfect health have some kind of limitations that keep them from leaping over tall buildings in a single bound. You know, those that are in poorer health, whether it's lifestyle choices or genetics, you know, or workplace accident or injury, we have another set of limitations or so that we need to be aware of so we don't overdo it. My epic 2019 road trip vacation, it was a great vacation. However, when I got back in late June, early July or so, I think it was late June, I paid the price for the next few months, because not only did I overdo it, I aggravated a bunch of things that I had thought that I had worked through those injuries. And then because I had run myself down, I picked up that nasty flu that was going around in the fall-ish of 2019. I have never been as sick as I was in the fall of 2019. The symptoms that I had that fall was very, very, very similar to what they were advertising as symptoms of a certain thing that went around in late 2019, 2020, and what is supposedly still going around now in 2021. So I think if I was not living alone, the person that found me would have made me go to the hospital. However, because you're living alone, you crawl between the bathroom and the bedroom. You sometimes find yourself sleeping on the floor because it's just easier than crawling up into the bed. And you ride out the sickness. And if you're alive when it passes, then then great, right? I don't regret my past, but I regret wasting time on those people, those jobs, and those things that were never going to pan out. They weren't truly in the relationship for the relationship. They were just in it for what they could get, or the short time being. You know, the jobs that I've had, I've learned a lot from them, and we parted ways, or I moved on, or the business is closed, or they were just using me to fill a temporary contract and then let me go one day short of the 3-month probationary period, and didn't tell me that at time of hire. Same with relationships. You meet people and all they want is a hookup, or all they're looking for is some guy with a house and a car they can drive and a cabin and a boat, and they can just lay there in their bikini and pretend to be everything that he's ever dreamed about, when really you know, that's not what I was looking for, and that's not what we had discussed in the beginning stages of our, I don't know, relationship or whatever you want to call it. I have let go and moved forward of a lot of the stuff that I was hanging on to. I got a 2-bedroom apartment in the old place I lived for one reason only. It was not to have an empty bedroom sit there for 2 years with a computer in the corner and call it my editing studio. It was for another purpose, another person to, if they chose to come back again, if they chose to be a part of the family again, we could live semi-separate lives and kind of work things out over time. However, I come to the realization that the drama, the headache, the conflict and turmoil was not worth what they brought to the relationship. And what really did it was, during my darkest times in the last couple of years, they were nowhere around. They were nowhere to be seen. They didn't answer text messages. They didn't call to check on a person. They weren't there for a so-called friend or somebody that was once a huge part of their life that they claimed they cared about. I understand we all make mistakes. I understand we all have pasts. However, you don't call your so-called ex just to brag about your exploits, your parties, and your fun times you had without them, and then in a few months call them again, try to get back together. You told them all these exploits and you expect them to forget it and take you back with open arms. That was one of the harder things that I've had to do, was to basically close the door and say no and finalize things, where in the past, 3 times, I have always allowed the person back in, pretended there was nothing wrong, you know, assumed the debt, paid for credit cards, co-signed for cars, pretended that everything was perfectly fine. Just for a few years down the road, they did it again for another 14 or 18 months and then wanted to come back again. And it's like, you know, fool me once, fool me twice, you know, fool me a third time. Well, the third time really, really hurt. It really, really cut. It was really, really costly and expensive. And it led to a lot of dark times, and there, you know, to protect myself, I've had to stop and make sure that there was not going to be a 4th time. Well, I guess moving forward from here on, living day to day, appreciating what you have in front of you, realizing you still have a heartbeat, you still have legs that work reasonably well, you still have the ability in your hands to do some painting and tackle a small building project, still have the ability to camp, you know, and enjoy what's around you. Kind of gonna start living day to day, maybe do some sporadic kind of road trips, you know, when I can borrow the truck and trailer, or if things can stay okay there, then we'll be good to go there. But if not, we will have to deal with all of that when and if things arise from there. It has been a very good learning experience, a expensive experience. It's taught me the value of things, taught me the value of what should be important and what is important, and has definitely weeded out people in my life that was definitely not there for the right reasons. It has made my life a lot simpler because I don't have fake people. Kind of taking one day at a time, one step at a time. It is what it is, and around we go. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.